Please give a big round of applause for Dylan Meek.
Hello, how we doing? Yeah, me too. One woo and then the rest quiet. Yep, that's how I'm doing too. I was gonna do this show sober tonight, but I quit drinking like the Iowa football team plays offense. I don't at all. I don't quit drinking. I'm 31 now. I'm getting out of touch. I'm realizing I don't understand slang anymore. I thought that respect the drip was just a reminder to shake my dick a couple extra times before I put it away, so I don't get pee in my pants. When I wear compression shorts and a belt, my pants have pee in them. Because I can't just unzip and hang it out through the boxer hole, and so it's a whole hassle, and then I put it away too quick. You know, we've all peed in our pants a little bit sometimes. Women post-pregnancy, me, and the rest of us. I think that covers everybody here. It's crazy right now, though, because we're 20 miles away from where you can smoke weed if you want to. And if you want to know if your country's in an asinine place, ask yourself if 20 miles is the difference between prison time and party time. If the answer is yes, you're in a crazy fucking place, man. My friends are all excited about legal weed in Minnesota. They're like, we don't have to go to Illinois anymore. And I'm like, I want to be excited, but like I can't smoke weed. Like I can't, like nothing's preventing me from it except for me. And the thing is, like, I can't smoke weed because I get scared. I get scared really bad. I get scared more than you guys have ever been scared ever. I can tell looking in your eyes, you guys still have life behind them. You guys are like, we've never been scared to the point where we thought, maybe I should just give up. Weed does that to me. And I was explaining this to my friend who is an avid pot smoker. I was like, dude, I can't. I get so scared. And he's like, dude, I get it, man. Last time I smoked weed, I thought the cops were going to come. And I was like, yeah, that's cute, man. Last time I smoked weed, I thought I was the cops. Just sitting on my couch, took a real good puff. I took 2. That was my mistake. One is where it's at for me if I don't want to have this happen. But I took 2. I was like, man, I'm safe in the comfort of my own home. We bought a house. I partially own a house. Like, I live here. This is my property. I can take 2. No, I can't. Can't take 2. I took 2, and I'm sitting there on the couch. I'm like, and it was a good inhale. I felt it like hit real deep, and I was like, I'm going to cough a bunch. And as soon as I got done coughing, it was, stop right there. What are you doing? And this is me. To me. I said, I'm just trying to smoke some weed, man, having a good time in my own house. I said, well, I'm afraid I'm going to have to take you downtown, man. I don't think I can let this slide. And I'm like, oh, shit. I'm so fucked right now, dude. Can you imagine if I did take myself downtown? Just walk into the Mason City Police Department, have myself by the collar. Somehow I know the receptionist by name. Hey, Misty, we got one. What do you mean we got one? Who the fuck are you? It's like I caught this guy smoking weed, and it's just me standing there still. I'm gonna need you to book him. But then actually I realized, though, before this all happened, I realized it was kind of like the end of my shift, and I didn't really want to fill out all that paperwork. So I let myself go. But it's crazy, man. The fact that Minnesota, weed, cool. It's fine now. Here, not cool. And it bothers me because, like, if we legalized weed here in Iowa, A, we could finally fix the fucking roads. B, we wouldn't continue to drop in the education rankings because we could funnel money into the schools and teachers wouldn't be quitting. And that pisses me off, by the way. That sucks, man. I don't know if there's any teachers here tonight, but there's a lot of you. Holy shit. Okay. So I've worked in mental health my entire adult life, like 12 years. I worked at a place called Four Oaks for 10 years. I finally quit because I can't stand kids anymore. But I get it. You're underfunded, you're underpaid, you have to do shit yourself for kids that don't give a shit about what you're trying to do. Hey, give yourselves a round of applause for sticking with it. But if Iowa legalized weed, we'd have money to do other things that are important, and nobody would be hurt in the process, I guarantee you. We'd maybe get more quick stars, actually. There needs to be one within walking distance of every block, because that's where people need to go to get their snacks, and people need their snacks because we legalize weed. But instead, our governor, our fearless leader, Kim, I've heard that, and I've never once believed it. And you know what I find, though? That actually is probably true, because the stupidest people I've ever met are always the nicest. But regardless, she's dropping the ball, because if we legalized weed, Iowa could have a really cool state nickname. We could be Hiowa. And Kim's like, get this shit out of here. We're gonna be OW Iowa until I'm dead. I saw her on RAGBRAI. She was riding her bike on RAGBRAI, and everybody's like, oh, that's so cool. Our governor is taking part in our local traditions. I was like, that's bullshit. That dumb bitch just found another way to drunk drive her ass across the state without getting a ticket. But I gotta level with you guys. I can't sit up here and be on a high horse. I got an OWI back in 2017. I got pulled over at 2:35 in the morning on technically a Sunday. It was a Saturday night to me still. The party was still going. Till it wasn't. But I got pulled over and I blew a .259, which is drunk if you're a man, and dead if you're a really small woman. Yeah, it turns out that BAC will kill women. But I got it, and they pulled me over, and I was a block and a half away from my house. This is what hurts, man. I was so close. I know, almost made it. But they got me, and they got me out of my car, and they were like, we're gonna have you do the field sobriety test. And this is the only part of the stop that I remember, because my adrenaline kicked in when I saw the cop lights, and I kind of sobered up a little bit. And they got me out of the car, and they're like, we're gonna do the field sobriety test. I was like, well, I live right there. Can the test be that if I can get from here to there, you let me go? And they broke away from me for a minute. They're like, we gotta talk about it. So they're over here, huddled up, and I'm back here just, hope this works. That'd be so sweet. But they come back and they're like, yeah, we're not going to be able to do that for you this time. Now, the thing that stuck out to me about what they said was the this time. So I was like, does that mean next time you guys got me? Like, when we do this all again, you'll let me go, right? And they're like, no, we're going to take you to jail. And then I blacked out again. I woke up in jail. Didn't know I was in jail. I woke up confused, is what I meant to say. I woke up confused. I was like, fuck, that was a rough one. I don't have bunk beds. These aren't my pants. And I woke up because the police that had to take me to see the judge, they were tapping on my leg. I don't know how long they were doing it. I would assume a while. But they were tapping on my leg, and they woke me up, and they're like, you gotta go see the judge. And I was like, the fucking what? What do you mean, judge? And they took me to see the judge, but the thing that happened in between this was that they put pants on me the night before. I didn't. I know I didn't put those pants on myself, because there was no way I was able to get out of the ones I was wearing. But the pants they put on me didn't fit. So they're taking me to see the judge. They got me cuffed. And I'm standing in front of the judge, and he said, you blew a .259. You were probably pretty sloshed. And I was like, yeah, dude. Still not understanding the gravity of the situation I was in. He's like, you're probably pretty sloshed right now. And I was like, yeah, dude. And my pants started to fall. And I looked to the cop next to me, and I said, my pants are falling. And he said, listen to the judge. And I said, okay. And the judge is talking, but I'm not listening because I'm feeling the slide in the back. Breeze hitting different sections of my ass crack, knowing what's about to happen. And I lean in to talk to the cop again to let him know, like, this is going to happen, but then he just gives me a stern look, and I'm like, never mind, fuck it. And my pants fall all the way down. And my dick's out in front of the judge. Now, I'll tell you that he sentenced me to 2 years of probation, 3 days jail time, and SR-22 insurance, but the most judged I felt that day was the minute that he saw my dick. Because he just looks and he goes, what the fuck is that, man? It's cold in here. I'm drunk. But after they fell, I turned to the cop next to me and I said, see? And then I paid my SR-22 insurance for 2 years, and that was the end of that. But the thing about the weed that I was talking about being legal 20 miles away, I wonder, if I was outside here smoking weed, I don't smoke weed, but if I decided I wanted to have a really bad time, and I was out there smoking weed and the cops pulled up, and they were like, stop right there. And then I got into my Honda Fit and I booked it 20 miles north across the Minnesota border. Like, if I got across the border, would they just like be like, fuck, he got away? And I could just be over there like, good, legal, fixing the roads, not harming anybody. That's not what would happen. They would just be like, get the fuck over here, and then I'd be fucked. I'm wearing a hat because my hair is fucked. It's fucked. My mom's nodding yes in the front row. Thanks, Mom. But it is fucked. I found out 2 years ago that I found out because my girlfriend looked at me one morning and she goes, you're going bald. And I was like, fuck, man. And I had never grown my hair out before, so I'm growing it out. It looks good back here, but when I push it back, I'm not going to do that to you guys. Hey, dude, we got the same hairline. Hell yeah, man. Actually, you've got like the Wu-Tang symbol going on in the front there. I'm not there yet, but I can't wait. But I'm growing it out. Basically, I'm treating my hair like when you put your grandmother in hospice care. Like, I never gave a shit about it for most of my life. It was kind of annoying. But now that I know I'm about to lose it, I'm taking extra special care of it. That being said, we did recently lose my grandma. It sucked. You gotta stay with the tone, you know? You gotta stay topical. But we did lose my grandma, and it sucked. She was the lady in our family that was always like full of surprises. Her last one was kind of a bummer. But she'd always be out there just trying to do stuff to get the family together, you know? And she was full of surprises. She had one surprise left for us, though, after she passed. We found out when we were at that awkward meeting with the lawyer to find out who gets what, that she'd been a piano teacher her entire life. And she decided to donate all of her pianos to the Methodist church that she worked for. And that was crazy surprising to my entire family because the last time we checked, she was not listed as an organ donor. To make that joke worse, my grandma is not dead. She's still alive, and she told me I could pretend that she was dead to make you guys laugh. She's still kicking. Her boyfriend's kind of a corpse, I don't know. She's in her 70s. She's fucking a 90-year-old named Frank. Frank might have killed his ex-wife. Maybe you'll see this on Netflix in the future and it'll explain more, but that's where I'm going to stop talking about it. But she is a great lady, though. I remember when I got my license. I was 16. I got my driver's license, and I went over to her house. I drove my Oldsmobile Alero over to her house. And before I left, she said something to me that I'll never forget. She said, "Hey, be careful on your way home. And remember, most accidents happen close to home." You guys heard this? Yeah, I thought she was fucking crazy. I thought that was stupid, dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, it's like 8 blocks. We live in Osage, Iowa. And then last week, I shit my pants in my driveway. And I was like, oh. Duh. That's what she meant. Listen to your elders, folks, and listen with an open mind. You never know when it's going to come to fruition. I shit my pants in my driveway, though, because I have a condition known as IBS. Anybody else? Yeah. Yeah, dude, there's a lot of us here tonight, dude. Anybody could shit at any second. Might as well all be pooping. I have IBS. It's been a struggle. I've had it for like 4 years now. And, you know, it's fucking crazy. Like, I know that my girlfriend is probably the person I'm going to marry because on like our 4th date, I got too cocky with my asshole. We were eating at Boulder Tap House in Mason City. I'd ordered the cheese curds. Because I was investing in not shitting later. I'd ordered the cheese curds and a burger called the defibrillator, which is 2 pounds of beef and more cheese curds. Because I figured they'd cancel each other out, you know? But the appetizers came to the table, and I looked at her, I said, "Sierra, I have to fart." And she said, "Don't do that." I said, "I'm gonna do it." Now, I'm not an actor. I'm a humble comedian. I'm a nobody. I'm a nobody comedian. I'm not an actor, but I'm gonna try in this moment to reenact for you what happened in that situation. I said, "I gotta fart." She said, "Don't do it." And I said, "I'm gonna." She said, "Don't." And I said, and then I went, she said, "Did you?" And I said, she said, "Are you okay?" And I said, now here's the deal. I've been shitting my pants for a minute. I'm not about to let it ruin a 4th date. So I tell her, "It'll be fine. I'll be right back." I go to the Boulder Tap House bathroom. I'm in the bathroom. I get paper towels. I get about 8 of them. I take 4. I fill them with warm water and soap. And then the other 4, they're dry. All right? And then I go into the stall, and I take off my shoes, and I take off my pants, and I take off my underwear. I'm not going to take off the shirt. Why would I? If you do that, you're fucking weird. That's me judging you. So I'm in the stall, and I'm, what do they call it? Porky Piggin? Donald Duckin? In this instance, I feel it's most appropriate to call it Winnie the Poohin'. And I stretch my underwear very tightly over the back of the toilet, and I start scrubbing. Now, prior to this date, we had gone to TJ Maxx. Like the date before, we'd gone to TJ Maxx together, because that's what you do. And we'd bought matching eggplant underwear. They were baby blue with purple eggplants on them. They were beautiful. And as I'm scrubbing, I realized the tag on the underwear that I'm scrubbing does not say L as it should. They say M. And I realized I put on the wrong underwear, and I had actually shit her pants. So I continue to scrub. I go back out there. I let her know, "Hey, I accidentally shit your pants." And now I still have a girlfriend, and now I have 2 pairs of eggplant underwear. So if you guys are ever wondering about like how to make something yours, men, just shit in it, bro. Am I right? We're gonna get a little bit obscure for a second. Anybody here know who Conway Twitty is? Yes. I love Conway Twitty, dude. My crazy fucking grandma taught me about Conway when I was younger. She told me, "This is the horniest man I've ever heard sing." And I didn't know what that meant at the time, but as I grew up and continued to listen, I realized she was right. Conway Twitty has a song called "I'd Love to Lay You Down." Title might as well be "Let's Fuck." In the opening verse of the song, he says, and I quote, "There's a lot of ways of saying what I want to say to you. There's songs and poems and promises and dreams that might come true. But I won't talk of starry skies or moonlight on the ground. I'll come right out and tell you, I'd just love to lay you down." Now, what Conway's saying is, let's not mince words, let's fuck. Later in the song, he has my favorite line ever written by him. He says, "When a whole lot of Decembers are showing in your face, your auburn hair is faded and silver takes its place, you'll be just as lovely, and I'll still be around, and if I can, I know that I'd still love to lay you down." Now what he's saying is, if my cock still works, we're fucking, baby, let's go! Fucking Kanye Twitty, am I right? That guy. Remember when they found cocaine in the White House not too long ago? And everybody was like, "That's not Joe Biden's," because we'd know. You can't be Sleepy Joe and do cocaine without everybody being like, something's fishy with that guy. Everybody was all up in arms, like, "You can't have cocaine in the White House," and I was just super happy somebody there was actually trying to get shit done that day. On a side note, remember when grooming kids was a good thing to do? Making sure your kids were well taken care of? Grooming in a traditional sense? You made sure they were showered, and it didn't mean that you were trying to fuck them? Those were good times. Those were good times. When grooming kids was a good thing. It always gets quiet there. I turned on the TV the other day, and I got really upset. I saw something that really fucking bothered me. Like, kind of took the wind out of my sails, so to speak. And it's not the Israel-Palestine shit. I don't know enough about that to talk about it. But if you ask me, I think they should just knock it off. It's so oversimplified. No, but what I saw was that after last year, a promise was made to me that they were getting rid of the McRib for good. And I turned on the TV and I saw they were making it, they were going to bring it back. And that bothered me a lot because I had made a promise in my life. I've sucked 2 dicks before, all right? We're going to get into that. Yeah, we're going to get weird. Like, we haven't already, I promise. What you've seen already isn't weird. It's gonna get weird. But I have sucked 2 dicks before in my life. And I promised myself that I would only suck another dick for like 3 reasons. 1, to get rid of Marjorie Taylor Greene. 2, to get rid of my student loans. 3, to get rid of the McRib. Last year, they said they were getting rid of the McRib. I was like, I only have 2 more reasons to suck a dick. And now this year, I find out I still got 3. It's a goddamn shame. Now, the first dick that I sucked, I know how this goes. I've done this so many times for so many people. The first dick that I sucked was like, man, I'm in middle school and this high school guy wants to be my friend. Let's do it. Second dick I sucked was totally on purpose. Because here's the deal, I was a freshman in high school. And during my 8th grade year of school, everybody in that school would come up to me. I was raised by women. I've been feminine my whole life. I like to look good and feel good and take care of myself. And I don't really have much masculinity to me. I don't really have shame. I don't know if you noticed that. But everybody called me gay. I didn't like country music and I lived in Osage. That's gay enough. So they're all calling me gay, 8th grade. I'm like, I'm not, dude, stop. Freshman year rolls around, they're still calling me gay. And there comes a point where you start to wonder if everybody else is right and you're wrong. I think the term for that now is might be kind of gaslighting, actually. But they're calling me gay, and I'm like, I'm not, stop it. And then they called me gay freshman year again, and then I was like, well, maybe. It's like, there's only one way to find out. The only way you find out anything. Good old-fashioned science. So I corner my buddy Eric. We'll call him Eric for the sake of the story. Corner my buddy Eric Austin McKay of 420 Poplar Street, Osage, Iowa. 50461. Corner him in the locker room after 8th period PE, and I said, Eric, I need to suck your dick. And Eric's one of my best friends to this day. He's in the Navy, which makes sense. Haven't seen him in a while, but he's one of my best friends to this day because when I said, Eric, I need to suck your dick, Eric said, all right. Cool, man. I didn't think it was going to be that easy. So as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, the hard part's out of the way. He said, yes, I got consent. We're going to do this. But then I realized there's more to this equation. Where are we going to do this? We get out of school at 3:40. My mom gets off work. She's home by 5. I don't know how long this takes. His parents, for the sake of the story, we'll call them Wayne and Tracy Mullenbach. 420 Poplar Street, Osage, Iowa, 50461. They're both paramedics, and they go into work at 3. They get off work around 2 a.m. Score. So we go to his house. We go down into the basement. That guy's really invested in this story. I didn't mean to call you out, sir, but I appreciate it. It means a lot. Your active listening skills are showing. The teachers know what that means. Anyways, we go to his house, we go down into the basement, and he's like, you ready? And I was like, yeah, man, of course I'm ready. I was born to do this, according to everybody at school. And then I'm looking around his basement, his living room's in his basement, I'm seeing all his family photos on the wall, and his little sister, and his little brother, and his mom smiling. And Wayne, who's his stepdad, smiling, which I don't know what Wayne's smiling about because he used to take a pocket pussy and put it between the cushions of the couch and have sex with it. And we caught him doing that like 4 to 5 times. We called him Wayne Couchfucker. We weren't clever, you know. It wasn't a clever nickname, but it was a good one. But I'm looking at all the pictures on the wall, and I'm like, dude, I don't think I can do this here. It's just too close to where you guys do stuff. He's like, oh, we'll just go out back. And I was like, hell yeah, man, because out back, he didn't have a tree house, but he had an elevated clubhouse. It was a clubhouse that was up on wood. It had siding and shingles and a microwave and a little air conditioner and a mini fridge. So what I'm trying to say to you guys right now is I have standards, okay? It's like, we'll just go out back. I'm like, all right, let's go out back. So we go out back, we climb up the ladder, we're in the clubhouse. I'm like, yeah, this is the place. This is where we're gonna do that thing. And he takes his pants down, and I've never sucked a dick on purpose at this point before. So I just take my shirt off. Sweaty work we're about to be doing. So I'm standing there in skinny jeans and Vans, studded belt, shirtless. It's a good image, huh? And I get down on my knees, and he undoes his belt, also studded. We were emo kids together. And he takes his dick out, and one thing that I didn't realize about blowing a dude, which most of you that are dudes may not realize, some of you do know, but you won't say ever, is that sometimes when you're about to do it, it doesn't start off just like hard, dude. So like I'm looking right into the eye of his soft penis. This is so uncomfortable for most of you. I'm looking straight into the eye of his soft penis, and I'm hurt. I'm like, what's up, dude? Are you not totally pumped about this? It never occurred to me that sometimes you gotta start the fire before you enjoy its warmth, you know what I mean? So I just, like a spaghetti noodle, pull it into my mouth. I get results, you know? I feel it stiffening up, and I'm like, this is weird, dude. But let me tell you guys something that'll make you feel a little less alarmed right now. The minute the tip of his penis passed the threshold of my lips, alarms were going off in my brain. No! We don't like this at all. They were wrong about you. You're straight. Like, dude, you're straight. And I was like, oh, thank God. But also, here's the deal, man. I never had a dad growing up. But if I did, he wouldn't have raised a fucking quitter. So I still sucked the fuck out of that dick. I sucked it to completion, and I swallowed. Men, you might not like hearing what I just told you, but let me do you a solid and tell the women in the audience and you so you know it's not that bad. Don't let them tell you otherwise. Oh, it's gross. It's not. I don't even like men jizz, but I swallowed it anyways. And guess what? It's fine. I only lie awake like 3 nights a week thinking about it. Like, it's totally fine. Tastes like bleach, feels like boogers. Oh well. Yikes. Anybody around here listen to the radio still? Yeah? You listen to the radio? For real? What do you listen to? Like the country stations? Yeah. Anybody ever accidentally tuned into the rock station? You ever notice how the rock station commentator is super like hyper masculine? He's like, Rock 108. Hard rock for hard boys with hard cocks. Not your sister's rock. If you ain't got a hard cock, this isn't your hard rock station. And then they're like, up next we got Imagine Dragons. I feel misled. Got like 5 minutes left. I gotta decide which ones I want to end with. Anybody here know what it smells like when you nair your roommate's back? All right, not that one then. Your roommate has a back that needs nair? You naired her back? She naired your back? They're lying to me. Isn't it weird that... Okay, anybody here know about No Shave November? Yeah, round of applause if you know about No Nut November. Well, no, here's the deal, man. Okay, it's crazy that they have No Shave and No Nut November. Because that just means they want us to be hairy and full of cum. That guy liked it. They just want us to be the grossest version of ourselves, just covered in hair like cavemen, just like... Yep. When I look back on my life, on my way out of here, and I think, did I do exactly what I wanted to do? I look back at that joke and I'll say, yes, the fuck I did. I've had bad times at strip clubs, okay? We're gonna get into this quick. Anybody remember, Norris Springs, not too far, right? You guys remember when Norris Springs had a strip club? It lasted like 6 days. Before the fire marshal came in and he said, get that shit the fuck out of here. It was called the Pole Barn Theater. That was my first strip. It kind of looked like this, actually, now that I think about it, but way less nice. But that was my first strip club experience. I was 23 years old, and my friends were like, oh, we got to go to the strip club in Norris Springs. I was like, that sounds terrible. There's no way a town like that has a strip club that's worth going to. And I was right. I spent the entire night there just playing the guessing game of, is that one pregnant or is she just really bloated? One girl climbed all the way up the pole, and I was like, that's an incredible feat of athleticism, and she deserves a lot of credit. She inverted herself and dropped her head towards the floor, and then she opened her legs wide, and her tampon string flipped right over the bow on her thong. And at that point, it's my birthday, but I'm sad. I'm like, is this what it's always like? My buddy paid a stripper there to give me a lap dance. She came up to me, she said, hey, and she ran her finger down my arm, and I said, don't fucking touch me. She said, your friend paid me, and I said, I'll double it. Just go away. But then my girlfriend finally took me to a real strip club. She took me to the lumberyard. But it was a bad time, again. Because before we went to the lumberyard, the weekend before we went to the lumberyard, I did that thing that I do once a year where I remind myself that with a deviated septum, you can't do cocaine. Because you get sick, like really sick for like a while. You get a sinus infection really bad. But she took me to the pole barn theater, or not the pole barn, she took me to the lumberyard, and I had a sinus infection super bad. My nose didn't work at all. Every 5 minutes, a trail of snot would just run down that I'd have to wipe away. And I'm sitting in this strip club just drinking beers, snotting. And she decides that it's a great idea to throw down some ones to get this stripper to like give me my first real lap dance, right? So she's in front of me, she's dancing on me, and I'm like, I don't like this at all. Like, I'd rather just be drinking the beers and your boobs be away. And then my girlfriend tosses down a 5, which apparently means put your tits in his face. And she's coming at me, and I'm like, no, 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 no. No, don't do that. And she does it. Because $5 is $5 fucking. She squeezes together, puts her tits in my face, and rubs them there, and I'm like, I am so sorry. She can't hear me over the music, but as she pulls away, there's just a snail trail of my snot. And once again, I'm left thinking, is it always like this? I'll leave you with this. I'll leave you with my comedy origin story. I started comedy back in 2017. 2017 was the worst year of my life. January 15th, 2017, my grandpa died. Later on, I got the OWI. Shortly after that, I got the STD. It was just chlamydia, it's fine. It's fine. They gave me a shot in my ass that kind of hurt for like 2 days, but it was cleared up, I was assured. But my grandpa died, he was in his driveway shoveling, and then he had a stroke. Not a stroke of good luck. It was a lethal stroke. Yep, he died. I was waking up for work, and I got a call from my mom saying, hey, you better get to Osage really quick. Rob had a stroke. And so I called into work, and I was on my way to Osage. I got there. It was too late. He was dead in the hospital. Everybody was crying. It was a sad time. We had the funeral, the official funeral, and then we had the Iowa funeral, where we all went back to my grandma's garage and started drinking Bud Light. Busch Light now, I understand. I know things have happened. What the fuck is that, man? Just drink Bud Light, it's fine. But we were drinking in the garage and sharing our favorite stories about Rob. And we were all talking, laughing, having a good time, just trying to cope together as a family. That's what you do when you go through grief together. And me and my uncles, my grandpa had owned a screen printing business. If you drive down Main Street in Osage, Iowa, and you look at any of the signs on any of the businesses, Rob made those. That's what he did. And he had a messy garage. That was his workshop. So me and my uncle started to clean it up. We're moving shit around, trying to make it look nice, trying to make it easier for my grandma. And I find a box, and it's about like waist high. It's a big cardboard box, waist high, covered in dust on the sides, but on the top you can tell it had been meddled with recently. It's like, what's in this box? And I open it, and it's full to the brim with porn. The oldest porn was from like 1976. Had like a bright pink cover with like confetti style on it, and the girl on the front was like spreading her legs, and she had like a huge bush. It looked kind of like your beard, sir. Less gray, but... That was the oldest one. The most recent one, though, was a DVD, and it hadn't even been opened. That made me so sad. Because I know he got it the day he died. It came in the mail. And he's out there shoveling the driveway. He's like, oh yeah, buddy. Gonna move this snow. Gonna move this snow, and then I'm gonna go into my office in the garage, and I'm gonna have a nice stroke. I was bummed. Super bummed. And then I was super scared. Because I watched a lot of shows on sci-fi when I was a kid, and I learned that one of the things that happens when you're going to have a ghost, one thing that's needed to make a ghost, unfinished business. I'm like, oh shit, this house is about to be so haunted. 2 weeks later, my grandma calls me. I'm like, what's up, Grandma? How you doing? I thought she was just calling to talk, because that's what she did after she lost her husband. You know, it's hard. She's like, well, the tray on my DVD player won't stop popping out. I'm like, oh, fuck, it's the horny ghost. But no, it turns out it was just her remote had fallen down in her recliner, and it was just the button was stuck. But when I found the porn, I was like, oh my God. What the hell? And I called my uncles over to look at it, and they're like, whoa, that's a lot of porn. And my grandma leans in, and she goes, you boys feel free to take any of that home with you that you want. Like, that's our inheritance. I was like, first of all, Grandma, the last thing I want to think about with my hand on my dick is your dead husband. But then I got to thinking a little more. When someone gets sick or dies unexpectedly, there's always a benefit. They always do something for them because it's a lot of expenses. It's a shame, but it costs a lot to die in this world. So you have a benefit, you raise money. Usually people get together, they have a candlelight vigil. They walk around the high school track a few times. Every lap's a certain dollar amount. They call it like Hold Hands for Hannah. It's just an example. I don't know any Hannahs.